Welcome to Sharp Factory's Quick Start video tutorial series. On this video, we're going to talk about how to call SQL sequences using the Sharp Factory framework. This video builds upon previous videos. So if you haven't watched the previous videos in the series, I suggest you stop this video and do so now. We're going to keep going with the same solution that we've been using for the past few videos. I have added an extra controller called the Customer ID Manager controller, and I have added an extra view called the Customer ID Manager Index View. Let's see what we have so far. SQL sequences have been around in other technologies, in other brands of databases for a while. They're relatively new in the Microsoft world, and basically what they do is they allow you to keep a global sequence in the SQL server. So you can use them in replacement for things like identity columns. So instead of using an identity column, you can use a sequence and have that as a default value. And they're very similar to the identity column concept in the sense that they give you an incremental number every time you call the sequence. Let's look at what we have right now so far. So I created a screen that basically shows the current customer ID and the next customer ID. And I have a button that gets the next sequence. Let's look at what the code looks like. So I have added the sequence using the Sharp Factory code generator. If you haven't watched the first video, I suggest you watch the first video, and in that video we demonstrate how to add different artifacts to our model using the Sharp Factory code generator. Let's look at our controller. In our controller, I have a call to one of the sequences, which is very similar to calling any other stored procedure or function as we saw in the previous videos. I call the repository, pass in the data model name, the word sequences, in this case is the schema from the database, is called sequences, and then the actual keyword, which is sequences. So we see it twice because whoever created the Microsoft's World Importers testing database decided that putting sequences under a schema called sequences was a good idea. So in this case, we see the word twice, and then the name of the sequence itself, which is called Customer ID. Now, this database has many sequences because instead of identity columns, they use sequences to handle all the IDs for the different rows, for the different entities in the database. In this case, we're going to be calling the customer ID. After that, I assign the sequence result to my next sequence property in my model that I use to feed my HTML view. If we take a look at the HTML view, all I'm doing is grabbing those numbers from the model. I keep them in a hidden field so I can post them back, and then I have a submit button. Very simple. So let's fire up our application and hit the button and see what happens on the screen. I have also added a customer IDs link to the top of the screen so that we can get to our sequences view. Now we hit next. Now because this is the first one, we still don't have a current customer ID, so we just have the next one, which is 1072. So if we hit it again, we'll get the current 1072, and the next one is 1073. And 1074. Every time we hit it, it just gives us the next number in that particular sequence. And that is it. That's how simple it is to consume SQL sequences using the Sharp Factory framework. So please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos, and thank you for watching.